Hi everyone, it's CVFM Radio and we are live coming to you from Middlesbrough and I'm joined this evening by my fabulous guests, my colleagues. Hello,
colleagues, we become guests all of a sudden. What happened there? What did I say that was wrong last week?
Nice jacket, nice waistcoat there. Now, Martin, I gather Inca has hurt himself.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, everybody I know, my beautiful Inca hearing dog. We came back from a walk and I was rubbing him down because, as you know, they get filthy and wet these days. And he winked and jumped away. And somehow his what's called the dew claw, which is on the back of a paw, had, at first I thought it had come off. I was horrified. But it had actually been pulled and there was blood everywhere. It was not very pretty sight. Anyway, we've had him to the vet today and he's fine. He's got antibiotics, he's got antihistamines, and I've got a bloody big bill. But he's fine. He's absolutely fine. He's been out this afternoon. He's been running in the mud and the water and everything that he could find. So, when you have to rub him down, and he's got this very sensitive bit, and I'm trying to dab it, but yeah, he's fine, everybody. He's fine.
Well, what you need is a little bag over his foot as well, so he doesn't get anything in there. What do you think, Glenda? Laughter yoga.
I've tried to put a bag on him.
Well,
do you know what, Martin? I totally get where you're coming from with the big bills because I've got two spaniels, and spaniels one of them in particular tends to do a dew claw about every 6-7 months. So we've actually had it surgically removed. It has grown back. We have bought, like you get the little fire shoes for dogs. Yeah. We have a set of 4 of them that cost us probably as much as the fire dog shoes or your bill today. We have our own honeydew. No, we don't. We have Manuka honey, and we dress it ourselves now. Ridiculous dew claws. They should not exist. Well, they should. We know they should, but they should not exist in dogs like spaniels. Crazy. Anyway, what were you saying, Anne?
Well, laughter yoga, Glenda. We've still got a problem with the sound, but don't worry. How are you? Because you are going to be talking to everybody about. Pardon?
Glenda tuned. Anybody who was watching last week will notice that Glenda has tuned dramatically. Look.
I'm only halfway through transformation. I decided that I've got a bit of a Cruella de Vil streak that comes up here. So I decided that I was going to go grey, just go holy grey. But because I'm so dark, we've had to strip it first. So I'm going blonde for a few days. And then tomorrow or Saturday, I think we've got an appointment upstairs in the bathroom where we're going wistful grey, I believe. And that will be transformation complete. So by next Thursday, we'll have another new hair colour. I've got to the age of 45 and I've never dyed my hair myself, that I've had to bleach it first. So it could end up green, pink, hey-ho.
If you want any advice, have a word with my son-in-law. Have a word with my son-in-law. Because my son-in-law, when I first met him, had pink hair, then it was green hair, then it was yellow hair, and he's gone through every colour. Now he's settled down, so fine. But you want a bit of advice, I'll send him your way.
I'm glad you said that, Martin, because I thought, no offence to your good self, but I thought you personally were going to give me hair advice, and I'm not sure that you have too much of it showing at the minute. I'm just suggesting that it's maybe all behind you. It's maybe all hiding. That's all. It's gone below.
It's dropped. That's what it is. It's falling down.
Okay. There we go. Then you're all right to give advice. You've got plenty of it.
Well, can I just say, when you get to my age and you actually have to dye it,
21.
Basically, don't go grey. But we've got some people who are going on, who've come on. We've got the wonderful Jackie Young. She said, "Good evening, team." Good evening.
Good evening, Jackie.
And we've also got Jenny Mohan as well. And we've also got one of our colleagues from CVFM Radio who's actually said good evening and have a great show. So thank you so much. So, Martin, who have we got on the show this evening?
Right, this evening we've got the wonderful counsellor Matt Dory, great counsellor, and he's going to tell us lots of great things to get up to, including how he and his family are coping with homeschooling, which is a big topic for everybody at the moment. Then we've got a young lass called Laura Toomey. You may remember, Anne, that we were at the Middlesbrough Town Hall for a concert, and we ended up bringing a young gentleman called James Corkin to play trumpet. Well, Laura is on the same track, but obviously lockdown has played up, so we've got Laura on the show. And then we've got somebody called Laughing Yoga, Glenda. Have you heard of her?
Do you know something? I think this Laughing Yoga Glenda, and by the way, we've got the wonderful Ellie Lowther watching as well, and she's actually said, have a great show, and hair looks awesome, Glenda. Glenda,
another vote for the hair, Glenda.
I see. We love your hair. So, Laughing Yoga, Glenda, just tell us a little bit about what's going to be coming up with Laughter Yoga.
Well, I kind of the as you know, I am of the opinion that laughter is so important in life, and I think in the last 11 months now, we've maybe not had quite so much to be happy about, and everybody's health, mental health as well as physical health, has taken a turn for the worse. I know mine has. So I think it's really important that we encourage people to laugh and to find any reason to laugh, whether it's something funny or whether it's a physical exercise like we're going to show you tonight. So you don't honestly need something. Humour and laughter just kind of fell together. They are not associated entirely. So you don't need to have something funny to...
Well, so we've got Laughter Yoga Glenda. She's going to be coming on a little bit later, and we've got some great exercises. I've also got Ivan sitting next to me, so we might be actually coming along the screen at some stage as well. So now,
and Laura's coming along at about 6:15, so it's not long, folks. So that's
no, it isn't. So we have last week I was saying to the team about exercise, and we're all doing little bits of exercise because we all know that exercise keeps us mentally fit, and during this present moment in time it's really important to for everybody's mental health to not be seriously affected, which we know that a lot of people it is with the lockdown. So I said to Martin about fitness, and we Martin, you have been doing Joe Wicks's fitness in the morning. So tell everybody what you've been doing.
Okay, well, I had no idea who this guy was until you mentioned him, and then I found out he was doing a live fitness session 3 times a week on a morning, 9 o'clock on YouTube. So I tuned in on Monday, and I have to say, it's been great. I've done Monday, I did Wednesday, but I did it today. The great thing is, because it's on YouTube, you can watch it later. You think that's what he was doing. We were doing a lot more than that. Star jumps in the middle of my living room. I tell you, star jumps are great for Joe Wick, but he's got a high ceiling. You know, I've got a lampshade, hey? You know? And also, today, I didn't know, you didn't tell me about this. He was doing quiz questions. So 15 geography quiz questions. Whilst we're doing I got them all right. You know,
Martin.
Tomorrow is fancy dress.
Martin, what kind of quiz questions were they asking you for geography?
Oh, things like, which continent is Tasmania in? And which country will I find the Taj Mahal in? You know, they weren't too difficult, but, you know, there was one or two I had to think, but, you know, I got them out. And the routines are great. I have to say, a bit of a problem because he keeps talking to people and I keep sending messages to him. And I'm convinced all the other people watching are not actually doing the exercises. Because how can you sit there writing a message, "Dear Joe, I think your program is fantastic." It's not possible. But it's great. Gotta say, it's great. There's loads of videos on YouTube. He's on again tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Apparently, he's thinking, I think, of dressing up as a pirate. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It's just good fun. Good fun. We said last week, just start doing something. And you got me into this. And I got a message from one of my friends who said, "Was I a nutcase? Because it was quite hard work." Well, it is quite hard work, but it's worth it. It's great fun.
Well, obviously, I've been doing my little bit of exercise whilst I've been listening to you, Martin.
You need to tune into your Wicks.
Unfortunately, I'm sitting on a seat. I can't do the bunny jumps as well because I know they were doing bunny jumps.
What about the duck walk? The duck walk.
I do that normally.
That is a good one.
I do that normally.
You waddle along like a duck, you know.
Well, hey, I'm used to waddling.
About it, Anne. You come from Stoke.
I do, Duck.
And you are called Duck, don't you?
Yeah, we are.
So we are. Duck walk, Duck.
Oh yeah, definitely. And talking of exercise, you've started because for the last since lockdown, the first lockdown, we've been doing as a group with the wonderful Mark as well. Yeah, we've been. Oh, he's fantastic. Big hugs and loves going out to Mark if he's watching this. What we've been doing is we've been doing lots and lots of walking as a group, a virtual group, with you being our fabulous group leader, Martin. And I understand last week you were doing stuff for British Legion.
Yep, 150 miles in 10 days. You've got your frozen on. So I did 150 miles in 10 days for British Legion. But then I'm doing another one now, which is 500k, or in old money, 310 miles, for the Royal Air Force Museum. And it's called the Lancaster Challenge. But I'm doing it differently because I've persuaded Mrs. P to come out walking with me. So she's doing the challenge as well. And it's basically because my late father-in-law was an air gunner in Bomber Command in the Second World War on Lancaster, and it means a lot to me. So I'm researching his history while doing the walk. So all we're doing is 2.5 miles a day, and we're just doing that, and we'll do the whole lot by May the 17th, I think it is. I said last week, step out of your door and walk. That's all you have to do. And that's what we're doing. We've covered 3 or 4 different routes. 2 miles, that's all we have to do.
And
that's
Glenda, I know. Glenda, what kind of stuff are you doing to keep mentally fit and active as a family? Because obviously you've got a couple of kids as well, haven't you? So how are you keeping, staying sane?
Well, up until yesterday, I was doing all right because I was out at work every day. I was leaving the house and leaving college and school to it and stuff. And then I got a cheeky wee text message saying, "You're going into isolation." So today was my first day at home. I have nothing. I'm just isolating as a precaution. So today was day 1, having to deal with college and university. Fortunately, we have no school. So it's quite sane here, reasonably sane. It's not too bad at all. So up until yesterday, I kind of keep quite a bit of fitness going with my work. As I teach first aid, it's quite an active job and stuff. So when I do get a chance, I get out, I like to walk. And I think walking takes you away from all your troubles or your strifes. It gives you thinking time. It's just not quite so good fun when people start seeing you laughing at yourself.
And the thing is, as well, is that you're now stuck at home because this evening, if we hadn't had the snow, because where I am, I can't get off my drive. I would have been in the studio, and next week you are going to be joining me in the studio as well because you can get in there, can't you? Is that right?
I can. I'm back out on release as of Tuesday night. So back to work Wednesday, and I'll be at the studio on Thursday.
Fantastic. And Martin, to answer your question, no, Laura hasn't come into the feed yet. But the other thing I was going to ask you is how is Captain Cook doing? Because we've not heard anything. And if everybody's seen the, because I did a little advert for the show, and 2 years ago, we were at the town hall at one of the amazing events the town hall did. And I brought you a haggis. We knew it was the end of January.
It was very nice indeed, I've got to say.
Yeah. And
remember it.
you were dressed as Captain Cook. So what's happened to Captain Cook, my lovely?
Right, well, Captain Cook is having a bit of a problem. He left Australia and New Zealand in 1771, and on this day, he was making his way through Indonesia and the islands around there, what we now know. But, as you know, Anne, Captain Cook was brilliant at looking after his crew and keeping them healthy and everything. And everything went marvellously all the way around the world till he got to Indonesia. And they picked up malaria and other diseases, and quite a few of the crew died. He was having a horrendous time. He just left Batavia on the 27th of December, and as of today, in 1771, he'd just finished negotiating new supplies. He'd got supplies of wood, water, a couple of deer, probably called Namchuks, I think, or something. He'd got some sheep, and he'd got a big supply, are you ready for this, of turtles. Now, the reason I got a big supply of turtles is the crew had discovered how nice turtle meat is. And so they were eating turtle meat. And so they brought on board a big supply. So they were looking forward, sadly, with some of the crew no longer with them, to sailing on the homeward trip and eating a lot of turtles.
Wow. Well, can I just say, whilst I've been listening to that, I've just actually taken a photograph. And the reason I've just taken a photograph is because I've got a cat that's actually sitting behind this screen, and who's actually now using my laptop as something that he can go and rub his chin across. So we're now holding on to my laptop, and he's now going for the lights. So if my lighting system and everything goes down, it is down to the cat, not me. So, Martin,
you were going to be saying that you were taking a lovely picture of us.
No, it's.
No,
I've just actually put it on Facebook.
Take a picture of me and it break a camera, so I mean.
Well, I've just put that on Facebook so everybody can actually see Ivan actually, whilst you're speaking, Martin, is actually running his face all the way along the top of the computer. The joys of working with pets and my fellow colleagues at CVFM Radio.
Are you suggesting that we walk all over the laptop?
Look, Martin, don't say that. Don't say that, Martin. We'll have rumours being spread. Talking about January, whilst we're waiting for our first guest to arrive.
She's having a few problems with her computer.
Oh, is she? Oh, that's okay. Now, we're not in the first hour playing any music, anybody. So all you're going to hear is us guys chatting away. So
Are you going to ask me to sing?
Pardon?
Are you asking me to sing?
No, we get guests on for that to come and sing.
Oh,
so you'll be pleased to know we don't want to lose any more listeners. But we would. Now, January, it started the year, and I think it's now been confirmed that it is on average the coldest month. How much snow have you got?
We thawed quite a bit during the day. Not a lot.
Really? All right. Well,
you've got quite a bit.
We've got -7, and we had that much snow this morning. So, and I've actually already been out with the shovel. Well, you've got to. Do you know, you don't need the
Surely
gym.
That's just a wee dusting.
Well, if you're in Scotland, it's just a wee dusting. But if you're down here, it's a lot of snow. It's no joke.
Oh, very good.
So, but Martin, tell us a little bit about the history of January, because I understand it was named after the Roman god Janus. Yeah.
Who had two faces, one looking forward, one looking backward. And that's why the month is so appropriate, because, you know, in many ways, we're looking back at the last year, we're looking forward. But in traditional times, they'll be looking back at the dark time, the winter, and they'll be looking forward and hoping that the spring would come about. I think I mentioned last week in the Christian calendar, the 12 days of Christmas would finish, but in old days, they would go on until the 1st of February. You would have celebrations and Christmas events. So this month of January has traditionally been a dark, difficult month. But it's also a time of renewed optimism. It's a time when you can put the past behind, you can look forward to the future. And I hope, now I'm interested to know, have you two ladies made any New Year resolutions?
No. Actually, have you made any, Glenda?
Yeah, the same one that I make most years, and that I'm going to get through the year without eating my weight in chocolate.
Can I just say, with reference to this year, I think I was reading a magazine and one of the editors said that as opposed to putting pressure on you for these New Year's resolutions, really it's a time of looking after yourself and caring for yourself, and thinking of you and just thinking of something nice, because at the moment with lockdown and everything, it's all about trying to look after yourself, isn't it?
It is, and
chocolate.
I've actually made a resolution. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to run a half marathon and a marathon this year.
Wow.
And I'm registered for them both. And I'm hoping that lockdown will finish before October. Otherwise, I've got a big problem.
Oh wow. Well,
Martin, that's not happening. I was registered to run a half a marathon last year.
You were.
Oh well, I did run the virtual one.
But, it didn't happen. But
hey, it's gonna happen. I'm positive thinking, sending out positive vibes.
Well, Martin, we're going to move from the feed because I'm going to remove Glenda because your lovely guest Laura has arrived.
Excellent.
I'm actually going to move away from the screen as well for the time being, because Sophie's just walked in here. So everybody knows that Sophie's my dog. So I'll see you in a bit. And Laura, thank you so much for coming on the show this evening.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I can't see Laura here at the moment.
Well, you should be able to. I can hear her perfectly.
No, all I'm seeing is a whirring circle. Hang on.
Oh, well, Martin, I think you'll need to go out and come back in. So I'll have a chat with
Laura.
Laura.
Go out and come back in. I'll go out and come back in.
Hello, Laura. How are you this evening? And thank you for coming on.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well. Now, I understand that. Are you at sixth form still?
Yeah.
And Martin was there saying that you are a singer. What kind of singer are you?
A classical singer. I love singing choral music mostly.
Right. Oh, and do you do any opera?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
All right. So with the choral music, I can imagine Christmas, you were in demand. And how did you manage it?
Well, this year was not as bad because of coronavirus, so there was not a lot that you could do. But there was still quite a lot of things that we were doing, and me and my friends went carol singing and stuff, which was really nice.
Oh.
And did lots of church services as well.
Because the thing is that I love watching the church service at Durham Cathedral, and obviously nobody can go into the church service. Were you in the church singing, and then it was going out on a Zoom?
Yeah. It went out to loads of people, especially on Christmas Day.
Oh, did you do the service on Christmas Day then?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I do it every year.
It's
really nice.
Well, he's back. Can Can you hear, Martin?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Yes.
Great. Hello, Laura. Lovely. We get there.
I'm going to let you go. Martin, there you go. Can you see Laura?
I can see Laura. She's looking lovely.
There you go.
Okay, Laura, thank you very much for coming on the show this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely lovely. Now, I've got a question for you, Laura. 3 years ago, 2018, on the 14th of January, what were you doing? That's got you, hasn't it? Shall I give you a clue?
Please.
St. Peter's Church, Yarm Road, Stockton. You made your solo debut.
Yes, I did, yeah.
See, we do our research on this program. Laura, ladies and gentlemen, is a fantastic young singer. You were due to perform at the classical concert, the cafe in the town hall, but I guess that's been put on hold due to lockdown.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But Laura doesn't let little things like lockdown stop her. So you're involved with the Tees Valley Music Choir, aren't you? The youth choir.
Yes, yeah.
And what have you been up to? Because I know what you're up to on the 20th of December.
Well, they've been doing lots of songs and sending in pieces over the course of lockdown, especially in the summer.
Yeah,
which
you
is
were doing something in somebody's back garden in April. I saw you all in the back garden singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you singing? You were singing some wonderful song.
Oh, I can't remember what it is now.
Was it Labby Tipford? You did something with Labby Tipford's song, didn't you?
I can't remember what it is now.
Oh,
but
come on, you. Something inside me, so stand by me. You must remember that, Laura. You were singing a fantastic song. Anyway, what were you doing just before Christmas? The whole of the choir was singing across the whole of Teesside with lots of Christmas songs.
Yes, yeah. I've been doing a lot of singing at Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you do during the day? You're still at school or student or something, aren't you?
Yeah, so at the moment it's online lessons, which is annoying because I'd much prefer to be actually in college.
Right, so which college are you at?
I'm at Egglescliffe.
We'll do a big shout out to Egglescliffe. Egglescliffe, great place, hooray! That'll get you extra mark tomorrow, Laura.
Sorry?
That will get you extra mark tomorrow. We're going to have a big shout out to Egglescliffe.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what's it been like? What's it like doing online learning?
Oh, well, it's not too bad. I'd much prefer to be there, but it's really nice to see everyone in class and stuff online, even though we can't be together in person. And I'm still like learning stuff in lessons and stuff, so it is good.
So what my understanding is your ambition is to be an opera singer. Is that right?
Yeah, well, classical singer really. I'd like to do choral music.
Oh, right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So, I mean, let me get the position right. You're an assistant musical director with Tees Valley Youth Choir. Is that right?
I was last year, yeah.
Oh, right. So, are you the boss now?
Sorry, it changes every year, so that was me last year though.
Right. Okay. And
Yeah.
what does that involve? What does that involve?
Just helping out with the chamber choir, especially, which is like a smaller version of the choir that like splits off for like little concerts and stuff, and also like helping to choose pieces and sometimes helping others to learn the pieces and things.
I mean, I know normally with a choir like that, and I know Tees Valley Choir has been going for what 25, 30 odd years. You performed in Royal Albert Hall, Durham Cathedral, all over the place. But lockdown, clearly you can't do that. So what has the choir been doing to get over that problem?
We were all just sending in our own lines of the pieces and stuff, and then they'd all get put together and put on the internet, mostly.
Well, I have to say, I've been watching some of your choir performances. I mean, as I say, the one on Christmas, 20th of December, was just mind-blowing. People go online, hunt it out, Tweed Valley Youth Choir, and look at their Christmas concert, because it was just magical, beautiful. But how do you... A lot of young people, we keep hearing that young people are used to technology, but this must be a new ball game to you, recording. Do you have problems? That's what I want to know. Because me and Anne, we have loads of problems recording the program. So, what sort of problems do you run into?
Well, I have to do a lot of takes because you're not singing with the whole choir. It's much more difficult to like sing your part. So like I end up sometimes getting it wrong and then have to start again. So it takes much longer to sing online than it does in person. And then sometimes, like, if the video or the sound cuts out, you have to start again, which is kind of annoying, but it's still nice to be able to sing with people and stuff, even though you can't be there in real life.
Ah, good, right, good. So what, Anne, you were going to say something, Anne?
Yeah, classical, because you want to be a classical singer. For anybody that's listening, tell us a little bit about the kind of music and what periods of the kind of music you would be singing. So just explain a little bit more about that for us, please.
Well, my favourite singing that I do is definitely choral singing. So like singing in cathedrals and in like churches and things like that with like large choirs. And we sing music from like every era, to be honest, because choral music's been going for so long. You can pretty much sing music from whenever you want. And I love all of it, to be honest.
So, because the other thing as well is with choral music is that you can have it as small groups to larger groups. Do you? What's your favourite?
To be honest, I love both of them because they're so different. Because like in a massive choir, like the sound is so good and you can hear everyone's parts in like really loud in your ears and everything. And it's so good. But also singing in a small choir is really fun as well because you can hear everyone's very specific voices all blending together. And it's a much different sound, but it's such a good sound as well.
And the acoustic, sorry, Marty, and the acoustic.
Go on.
Can I ask? And the acoustics as well, when you go from different churches, I can imagine that's quite different. Do you have to hone into those acoustics as well?
Yeah, you do. Because one time I was singing at St. Paul's Cathedral.
Wow.
With
I love the way you just dropped that in, Anne. You just said, one day I was singing at St. Paul's Cathedral. How do you do?
So you were singing at St. Paul's Cathedral, yeah?
Yeah, and we were singing this piece, and because it's like I'd never sang there before, and it's so much bigger and like much nicer and just amazing. Like you can never like imagine how it is until you actually go. And anyway, we were singing this piece, and like there was this bit where we were singing, and then there's like a bar's rest and stuff, and you could hear our voice, like all our choir voice coming back at us in the rest, and it was so good. It was like amazing. It was like we were singing with ourselves in the cathedral.
And is there a cathedral or a church that when they say, oh, this is where you're going, do you go, oh, I love that place?
Definitely there. I'm going there again in the summer, this summer.
That's
yeah,
good.
I'm so excited because it's such a lovely place to be. And I just love singing there.
And have you been to any cathedrals outside?
Sorry?
Martin asked
who are you singing at St. Paul's with?
Oh, the Millennium Youth Choir. It's the main youth choir that the RSCM have. We do stuff like every summer, and like we do stuff like throughout the year, like rehearsals, and then we have like a week's course in the summer. And like this year, we're at St. Paul's again.
And what is the RSM?
It's the Royal School of Church Music. So, and they do like exams and stuff, and like they do other choirs and things. And like the Millennium Youth Choir is the sort of youth choir, like the main choir of them.
And how easy is it to become part of the royal choir?
Well, you have to do an audition, and it's like a whole day, really. I did it, and it's like you have to sight read music and like go in for like separate auditions and stuff. It's really good, to be honest. And everyone's so good who's in the choir.
And do you get international tours as well?
Oh, I wish we could.
Is there anywhere, because obviously the cathedrals across the world, there is so many, that is there anywhere else other than St. Paul's that you go, I would absolutely adore to sing there, like Notre Dame before it got burnt down? You know, is there anywhere else that you think, gosh, you know, I'd love to go and sing there?
Oh, it would definitely be Notre Dame, to be honest.
Yeah,
When it's all fixed up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're going to rebuild it, so hey, you'll be all right.
Well, do you know something? When you were talking about echoes, I've been watching a program on BBC iPlayer about Persia and Iran, and they have obviously they were talking about the Muslim religion and the churches as well. The mosques, and the sound of the echoing from the different, when the gentlemen sing and call everybody to prayer, and that echoing sound from different chambers is have you done anything solo in the churches?
When I was very young, I sang solo at Durham Cathedral, which was really good.
My God.
Yeah. I think I was like 9 or 10 or something.
So and
That's my favourite cathedral. And actually, funny enough, Anne, you don't know this, but my wife is actually sang in a choir in Durham Cathedral. And it's a wonderful ambience as well. It's a wonderful sensation as much as anything. You know you've got history behind you.
Yeah.
As well as sacredness.
And the obviously, with you being a choral classical singer, what do they actually have, like mezzo sopranos, etc.? Are you a particular style of singer within the choir?
Well, in a lot of different choirs, I sing a lot of different parts.
Okay.
But my favourite part is the alto line.
Who is it?
Because I love the harmonies that they get and stuff in like a lot of the pieces, and I just love to sing it. And it's definitely like my favourite one. Absolutely.
And for people who are listening, alto, whereabouts is that? You've got the soprano, go down the different levels so we actually know roughly whereabouts that is, please.
So you have soprano, alto, tenor and bass. So alto is like the lower female voice. So it's much more like, it's a really comfortable part of my voice. And also that I just love the lines of music that you get, because they sometimes, like, especially on modern music, you get like clashy notes and stuff, which is really nice. And then like, I just love singing it so much.
And also as well is that the obviously being in the choir and the classical songs that you're singing, are they in English or are they German, or what kind of languages are we looking at here?
We do a lot of English, quite a lot of German, and a lot of Latin as well, because of church, because it's a lot of it's in Latin, which is really good. I love having a mix of different things that you can sing. And
how do you find German?
I actually find it okay. I actually really enjoy singing in German.
Yeah, because
you're going to be very popular, because you like singing the languages that people struggle with. You sing in the alto so you can pick up a rhythm. You're going to be really popular, Lola.
And because the thing is that opera singers, they tend to, if they sing in German, they'll tend to specialize in German, because it's quite difficult, isn't it, compared to the Italian and the French, etc.
Yeah, when I'm doing opera and stuff, my German's probably my favorite one, and Italian, and then French is the one that I find the most difficult, to be honest.
Oh, why's that?
Because, you know, in French, there's so many letters and stuff that you do and don't say, and there's so many more rules, I think, in French.
So many silent letters.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah, of course,
that sometimes it's pronounced one way and sometimes it's another. And yeah, that's definitely, for me, that's definitely the hardest one.
Fantastic. Oh, well,
So where do you go to after you leave a good clip form? What's your career path?
I really want to do choral singing.
Yeah.
So I want to go to conservatoire, I think.
Yeah.
And try and be in like a choral place there. And I'd just like to really carry on with that because it's my favourite kind of music, and it's definitely the thing that I'm the best at, and I just really enjoy it so much.
It sounds wonderful. We were chatting with James Corkin and Ewan Murray last year, and we've been following their progress through. And it's been fascinating. I know James is singing at playing at the town hall in February. Fingers crossed. You know, if we have the lockdown lift up. So we'll be following him there. And, you know, please, we'd like to follow you because, you know, we just love your ambition. You clearly know where you want to go, don't you, Laura?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Which is great to say. A little one from me. I do odd questions on this show. You see, I'm deaf. Most of the listeners know I'm deaf. And so I actually don't hear sopranos. I have no idea what sopranos sound like. So I'm delighted you're alto. That's the first thing. Secondly, I could never get into a choir because I've got no sense of music, really. I always thought in a large choir, you could hide. I thought you could stand there and just mouth and get away with it. Is that not true?
No, I don't think so. That's the thing I love about a large choir is it's like a big team and like everyone is singing all together and like it's really, really fun. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Handel, Messiah, things like that, John Rutter. I mean,
yeah.
You know, those sort of, I just love that rolling sound that comes to, and my favourite is Verdi. Anything by Verdi, and I'm in there. You know, so you know, have you sang some Verdi?
I'm not sure. I will have done at some point, but I can't bring anything to mind to be honest.
Yeah,
I will have done.
You know,
I've done Handel Messiah.
Have you done the play? You've done Handel Messiah.
Oh yeah, quite a lot of times I think.
What do you mean? Oh yeah. It's a wonderful piece of music. I'm getting a bit worried about Laura. She just offhandedly said she sang in St Paul's Cathedral and offhandedly said she sang Handel Messiah. You know, the lass is totally comfortable with it all.
Oh, she's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I am absolutely loving listening to this. And the reason I've keep leaving, is Matt is actually struggling to get into the connection. So apologies, everybody. I don't know if yes, we've now got Matt in there. So yeah,
That's
so we've now got him.
We're having great fun, Laura. We just have fun on this program.
I am absolutely loving listening to Laura and the fact that she wants to be a choral singer, because you don't hear that very often of a young person who wants to be a choral singer, a classical singer. And that's why I just wanted to find out a little bit more what a classical singer is, because you tend to find people saying, I want to be an opera singer.
And also, Laura, I mean, one of the things that's been picked up in recent years is how much classical music is got into film, television programs, games, when people play it on computers, all those rolling sounds of echoes that choirs can make. Finding a way. Are you finding that? Are you finding people understand better what you're singing?
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed that. Like, it's everywhere when you think about it. It's in films, it's in like TV programs, it's in everything really, because they always have like choirs in a lot of soundtracks to things. which is it's really nice. But a lot of people don't notice it. But like, I feel like when you actually are a choral singer, you notice it a lot more. That
Yeah.
it is everywhere.
It's absolutely everywhere. And I mean, I'm always conscious that when you're watching sort of suspense movies or thrillers or detective programs, the soundtrack enters your head to get you into the atmosphere. And behind that, I'm sitting there thinking, there's a whole choir recording that.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing you in the background on some super thriller.
Thank
well,
you.
yes, huge thank you, Laura, for coming on. And will you keep in touch with us? And also, when you can actually go and perform and you can have an audience there with you, will you let us know? Because I know myself and Martin would love to come and cover it for the radio station, wouldn't we, Martin?
We absolutely would. Absolutely lovely. I'm tragic that I couldn't get to see the classic concert at the town hall, and I'm absolutely delighted that it more than made up for it, Laura. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you, my lovely. Take care.
Thank you.
Homework.
Oh, bye. Oh, what a lovely young lady.
She's lovely.
Oh, she is.
Somebody else lovely coming on, haven't we?
We do. And I am just going to introduce him because he's managed to get into the feed. I am huge thank you for that. It's Councillor Matt.
I think I'm going to have to go out the feed and come back in on.
Oh, okay, goodbye. We do. Well, can I just let you know, everybody, this is a live show. And obviously with anything that's live, you can have little things and going and not working right well. So our final guest for the evening is Councillor Matt Story. He's the leader of Middlesbrough Labour Group. He's also councillor for Central Ward in Middlesbrough, which is where CVFM Radio is located. And he's also the constituency office manager, at the office of Andy McDowell MP. Good evening, Anne. Good evening, Matt. How are you this evening?
Hi, Anne. Yeah, I'm very well. Sorry about the faff getting in. I struggled with the link, but I'm here now. So yeah.
Oh well, don't worry, because I nearly did send you the link to say, can we have your wife instead?
Well, I think the listeners will probably prefer that to Anne, to be perfectly honest. I mean, when Martin mentioned you had another lovely guest coming on, I presume there's another guest after me, to be perfectly honest. But
no. Well, we've got Martin's back in the stream, so we love Martin. Martin, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear clearly.
That's a fun to that.
Hi, Martin. You okay?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, doing well.
You coping with homeschooling then?
Well, I must admit, I'm doing my best to help out. It's tricky because I'm working in the dining room in my home office, and then Philippa's through in the other room with the kids, and I'm trying to dip in and out and help her because it's pretty tricky stuff actually. We've got two children who are both trying to do online learning live with the teachers on the screen, and the 3-year-old just wants everybody to pay attention to him all the time as usual. So it is a bit complicated, but we're just about navigating it. So let's hope it's not too many more weeks of it.
No, well, that's what we're all hoping. But I guess you're learning a lot. I think one of the great things about this online learning is the parents, I think, are learning from the teachers an awful lot about that they didn't know before. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always had a real appreciation for how hard teachers work. My parents are both primary school teachers, and they every night was a lot of shop talk around our tea table. So I know full well how hard teachers work. And when you look at the amount of effort they're putting in at the school to provide all the resources and set all the tasks and make sure that kids keep up with it, I mean, it really is absolutely amazing. And you can't really speak highly enough of how much teachers are doing. It's putting a really big strain upon them. But they're really coming through for local children and the pupils, and you can't speak highly enough of them.
No, fully agree with that. Because I mean, when you look back, they started this year with their lesson plans and everything. They had no idea this was going to be on the horizon. 6 months ago, a year ago, they had no idea that they would be going online, and just something that one or two people, I guess, in each school were thinking about. And now the whole of school is turned over to it. It's been brilliant. So what else have you been up to? Come on, what have you been up to, Matt?
What else have I been up to? Well, basically,
you've got your Christmas decorations up.
Oh, well, there's the one left. We've left some of our Christmas lights up outside as well. Actually, a little bit, just because it just brightens the place up a little bit. I mean, that doesn't do a lot, but the Christmas lights do brighten things up a little bit, and everyone's so. I think people get a bit demoralised with the lockdown and stuff. So we thought we'll leave the fairy lights outside on the fence and just let just a nice thing it's nice for us as well. I like switching them on a night and just seeing the colours. It's just there's something about it that just cheers you up. But yeah, I've been working hard, Martin. I've got back from Christmas break, back straight into council stuff, meetings on the screen in the town hall, if you like, but on the screen, and then just picking up ward issues, doing things in the ward, and as best I can to help people, and back into the parliamentary office stuff. Lots of people needing a lot of different kinds of help. Lockdown presents challenges to all sorts of different people in lots of different ways, and whatever support we can provide, that's what we're doing.
And in the local ward that you represent, for anybody that's listening that doesn't know about the ward, this is where CVFM radio is based. Tell everybody a little bit about the ward and what kind of ward it is.
Well, for me, it's an absolutely fantastic ward. I've said this every time I've been on. I love representing Central Ward because it has a little bit of everything. It's a very ethnically diverse ward, so you get all the different religions and cultures. Everybody mixing together, and I feel that everybody mixes in a very harmonious way. There are sometimes stresses and challenges in that respect, but we work through those as a community, and I'm really proud of the way that the different cultures and religions and different nationalities mix together in our centre. You've got the town centre itself, so you've got all of the shops, everything in the centre where we go shopping. You've also got all the way down the river, so Transporter Bridge. You've got all of the industry that's down there. You've got all Riverside Park, where all of the TAMP is based, in the manufacturing park. So it's a massive ward with all kinds of different issues, and there's always something going on, and there's all kinds of different kind of issues and concerns that we have to pick up as ward councillors on a daily basis. But it's not boring, I'll give it that.
I mean, you mentioned Riverside there, and there's been a lot of commercial development, industrial development down there, manufacturing centre, etc. Has a lot of that been put on hold, or is it still happening in the background during lockdown?
Well, I mean, the actual manufacturing park itself at TAMP, that is actually for the buildings that are there now, the units that are there now, it's actually oversubscribed. Lots of people are really keen to move in there, and actually the developers and the people who manage the site, they've actually had to kind of turn some people away because they've had to sort of say, well, actually, we'd prefer this larger manufacturing group to come because it'll provide more jobs and more growth. And they've had to kind of work around those things. And it is expanding. The council have agreed to expand the site, so there'll be even more manufacturing units going up over there. And it's a really fascinating place with all kinds of different types of business going on over there. They've also had a real impact in a community sense, because one of the things they found when they were starting the site up is they found the original brickwork for what the old foundry that was over there, Samuelson's foundry. So they retained that, and there are now information boards over there, and they're encouraging schools to go when they can, to go and do school trips there and to do local history events over there, because they found all the original brickwork, and there was some original kilns there from the ironworks. So I mean, there's lots of different elements to what's happening there, but I'm really proud of TAMP. It's something that previous Labour council started. This council, under the independent mayors, continuing to see it develop, and it's just a really exciting thing. Because what a lot of people say about Teesside, a lot of people say we don't make things here anymore. Manufacturing's dead in Millsborough and Teesside, and that's not true. And TAMP shows that we do make things here still. We do have that manufacturing base, and it's something I'm really proud of.
Quite rightly.
Can I, when we was chatting to you earlier today, we were talking about the civil service jobs that you want to come to Middlesbrough. Explain to the listeners a little bit more about that for us.
Well, basically, I mean, this is something actually, it goes way back. If you want to go all the way back, it goes all the way back to the 1970s, because Middlesbrough was highlighted by the Labour government in the 1970s for the Property Services Agency to come here. And some of the housing that was near the library in the town centre was cleared in order for civil service jobs to come here. And that didn't happen. Margaret Thatcher stopped that development. So that's why that site sat vacant for such a long time before MEMA and other things went on there. What we've got now is the current Conservative government have said that with the levelling up agenda, they want to send civil service jobs out of Whitehall and into the north. And one of the sites that they've been considering is somewhere on Teesside. And what myself and Andy MacDonald, the Labour MP, did about a month ago, before Christmas, was to write to Rishi Sunak and say that if you're going to send civil service jobs to the northeast, to Teesside, you should come to Middlesbrough, you should come to the economic heart of the Tees Valley, and they should go into the brand new office blocks that are planned to be built in Centre Square. And we've got a ready-made plan. We just have to push the button, build the blocks, get people in there, and the economic development benefits to the town will be absolutely massive. And we said that last night at full council. The mayor, Andy Preston, agreed with us. He said, bring the jobs to Middlesbrough, let's get them in a town centre. One of the concerns we have is that an alternative is it might go to an out-of-town development units, perhaps somewhere near the airport. And that would really be detrimental, because if you put it out of town, the civil servants will come, but they will get back on a train and go back to London at the end of the week, because that is inevitable. If it's based in the centre, people will go to work, they'll come, they'll live here, they'll work here, and when they spill out on a night, when we've got past COVID, they will spill out on a night into the bars and restaurants, and all of those knock-on benefits will be massive for Middlesbrough. And it's got to be part of our kind of our reconstruction after COVID, to get people to do those things and to get those jobs here. So that's what we're asking for. The government are looking at it. They haven't confirmed where the jobs will go yet, but what we want them to do is to bring those jobs to Middlesbrough.
So what's the time scale on that then, Mark? I mean, when will the government make a decision?
Well, they announced it yesterday with an article in the Financial Times. There's a consultation ongoing. They are looking at sites they are looking at Teesside, Newcastle, Leeds, Manchester. So I mean, Newcastle, Leeds, Manchester, of course, are looking at those places. That's where all of these things often will end up going. But I'm not sure what the exact time scale is, but the consultation is ongoing, so they are considering these things. And what the mayor said it last night, myself and Andy MacDonald have already done it, but we want everybody, whoever's got any influence whatsoever, pile into this conversation. Get onto your MPs, get onto your councillors, wherever you live in Middlesbrough. Tell your elected representatives to press the government to bring those jobs to the town centre of Middlesbrough, because we want them here, and we can deliver that for this town, and it will be a massive bonus to us here. So yeah, anybody who can do anything to influence the government, please do so, and let's get those jobs in our town centre.
So what else has been going on? Any developments in the housing front? Any changes happening in central Middlesbrough?
Well, yeah, we've seen an announcement the other week about Place First, who were developers who were planning to put in a planning application for some development over at Middlehaven in the old St Hilda's area, on East Street, some townhouses, terraces, that will run up towards the old town hall. 40 houses at first, but it might be more. And that's something it's really exciting. It's really good. Myself and Linda and Zaffa, who were my ward colleagues in Middlesbrough, in the central ward, we've been involved ever since we were elected. We've been involved closely with officers at the council to develop St Hilda's. It's one of our absolute priorities. We want a thriving community back over there. We've been talking to officers for several years now about what are the plans, how are things going to develop, and you'll already have seen lots of great things happening over there. Apartment blocks going up, built by 13. We've got the community farm that's going to open over there. You've still got the customs house, the youth centre that's over there, plus all the infrastructure improvements, the new dock bridge and road system, so that it's got those linkages. It means that it's better for people for travelling in and out. And then there's all the potential of maybe a snow centre. If not the snow centre, then certainly leisure developments on that side of the dock there. And when you take it all into account, you've got the secondary school, the new secondary school, Outwood, that's going to be built over there, Outwood Riverside. All of that suggests that we can see a real thriving community starting to develop. And these houses is just one element of it, but we're really pleased to see it. And the more we can get people living over there and it being a community that has relevance and has its own, it's sustainable, then I think we can be really, really excited about what's happening there.
That really pleases me because, I was involved with Middlesbrough College development some years back, and I hope that Middlehaven will develop. But what I reminded Andy Preston of this sometime last year, that we're coming up to the centenary of Middlesbrough. In 2030, it's 200 years, it would be 1830 that Middlesbrough first developed over in that St Hilda's area, the modern Middlesbrough. Wouldn't it be great just to see a new thriving Middlesbrough over in that St Hilda's area, that Middlehaven, whatever we call it, area, in time for 2030?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think part of the reason why it's so important to us as the ward councillors is that very thing, that this is where the town was born. And there's something, it's not about nostalgia necessarily, but it's about acknowledging that the town started at St Hilda's. It spread from there, yeah. And as the town gravitated away from the river, that area became dilapidated, and it was regenerated many times, and the regenerations didn't stick, and people tried their best to make sure that was a sustainable community, and they didn't manage it. What we want to do is make sure that when we do redevelop this area and we do see a community develop there, that it is sustainable, and that we can say, this is our history, but it's also part of our future as well now. And you've got quite a lot of the kind of general building blocks that you would want for a community. Like I say about the school going up, you mentioned the college, that's also great. Obviously, you've got the police station. There's a lot of things over there that lend themselves to a community starting up again. And I think there's lots of really good things in the pipeline that we can see coming through that'll get people living over there, and not just it being just housing just thrown up, but there'd be enough for people to be able to live and work and have their children educated, and for it to really be a thriving place to live. And I can't wait to see that happen.
One of the things that occurred to me when you're saying that, because I have a thing about the old town hall built in 1843, it's still over there. That was the marketplace for the town. And you've got North Street, South Street, East Street, West Street, where the first house was. If a building takes place around there, you've actually got a market ready-made in the centre. And people increasingly, during lockdown, are finding independent producers, they're finding local sources that they can go to. So we've all heard about the problems of going out of town. Maybe the whole town would centre on that marketplace. And that, what you're planning for the town hall?
Well, I mean, the last sort of couple of conversations we had about this, it was a chance that the Teesside Archives, that hold all the archive information for Cleveland of old, all of that maybe potentially would move in there with the Heritage Lottery Fund grant. That looks like it's less likely to happen now. And if the town hall is redeveloped, and I believe it will be as part of what's happening over there, it's more likely to be some kind of private sector involvement. So whether it gets turned into some kind of business centre, small units, startups, I'm not sure, but certainly more likely to be a private sector use. But that building is listed, that building will be part of the redevelopment, and it should be. It's absolutely critical that is key to what we're doing over there. When you talk about markets, I think that's a really interesting point, because you look at the success of the Orange Pit Market, again, something else in our ward. The Orange Pit Market's been fantastic, and all the artisan food and people spilling out of the bars and having a few drinks and listening to some music and all of that stuff. It's very cool these days. The kind of Camden type attitude, that sort of Shoreditch sort of attitude. People really, really take to that. And you're right. If as part of the development, perhaps a new market square there, and perhaps we look at it, once it is a thriving community. Why should Orange Pit be on Baker Street? Maybe Orange Pit could also go there, or we could have a different type of market there. There's lots of opportunities and possibilities. You've got to write them down, Martin, because if you don't write them down, somebody will say, "Oh, I thought of markets before Martin Pegram," and then they'll be away with
Oh,
it.
no. I can show you where I wrote it down years ago.
Yeah.
And much more. I mean, the thing is, if you're talking about the green strategy as well, you want to reduce the amount of travel that people have to engage in. So, Baker Street, Owen Pit Market, the street from there, St Hilda's, Market Square, another community building. And you've also got this development of horticulture in there. So you've actually got a ready-made producer sitting on the side. So, hey, I'm ready to head up your market thing down there. Don't worry about it.
I mean, you're gonna have to contact the council, Martin, and insist on some kind of commission. I think if you can manage something out of them. I mean, we're a bit strapped for cash these days, but you never know. Don't let anybody nick your ideas.
We love you, Martin. Oh,
Putting that neatly around to food.
Yes,
we've got a lot going on at the moment. A lot of hoo-ha about food parcels. What's been the council's response to this whole shenanigan that's going on nationally regarding food parcels?
Well, I mean, the council has been absolutely tremendous during this outbreak. I mean, that we just had a meet. I've just been in this meeting that took a very long time this evening as well. I'll come on a bit later, and we got given a report from the officer who's been managing the process of trying to make sure nobody goes hungry in Middlesbrough, and the amount of effort that's gone in. When the government didn't provide free school meals, the council stepped in, and officers was straight there with a plan to feed. I think it was something like over 7,000, nearly 8,000. Families receive food parcels to make sure they got through those holidays. And when central government didn't step up, local government was there to fill that gap. And it's been absolutely fantastic. I get food parcels every week delivered to me here to deliver to some vulnerable people I support in Middlesbrough. And I do 3 or 4 depending on who needs what. And they come from Middlesbrough Environment City, and they've got a sustainable sources of food that they grow themselves alongside other things they buy in. And I go and deliver those food parcels to vulnerable people. So there's a real wealth of support out there. Environment City, I put them in touch with Outwood Academy in Acklam, and they've provided meals for children who were struggling. They're 30-odd meals every week for the head teacher there. So there's lots of provision out there, and the work that the council have done and the food banks have done has been absolutely outstanding, and it is fantastic. And I think we can be really proud of the effort and the community spirit that has been shown in terms of making sure people who are struggling do have enough food to get by. We can be really proud of that.
One of the things that comes over in what you're saying is, rightly or wrongly, I think the government got it completely wrong in handing it all over to commercial outlets. I think it should have stuck with councils, charities, even schools. I'm well aware that teachers are perfectly capable of going to a supermarket and buying food a hell of a lot cheaper than the government can buy through a commercial outlet, and probably better food. Do you think the government got it completely wrong in this whole strategy?
Well, you know me, Martin. I don't like to bring the politics into it.
I do. I love doing it.
I try and avoid that, and then you've gone and give me a political question now. But I think there's a huge amount of people out there who are doing all kinds of really important things. Do I think the government got it wrong? Yes, I do, and I think teachers would tell you the same thing. I saw a teacher on the news last night who was saying, in the first lockdown, it was proved that the food parcels weren't popular, they weren't particularly good, and so they introduced a voucher system which worked a lot better. This time they do the same thing. You have food parcels that aren't very good, and now they're having to introduce a voucher system. And you think, have they not learned from the mistakes of the first lockdown? Because teachers didn't understand why vouchers weren't provided in the first place. And one of the problems I have with it, Martin, is I think it's degrading to people to say, we don't trust you to spend money, so we're going to give you a carrier bag of food that frankly is appalling in its quality. And because we don't trust you to take a voucher and spend it appropriately. I think we need to trust people to take that money and use it for what it was supposed to be used for. It can only be used for food anyway. It's not like you can go and spend it on anything you like. And I found it quite debasing for people to be told they had to get food and they couldn't have a voucher. But yeah, do I think the government got it wrong? Yeah, well, absolutely. You've seen the state of those food parcels was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah,
A bottle of water, two baked potatoes, a couple of slices of cheese. It's absolutely appalling.
Well, bottled water is the one that I just felt about laughing when I saw bottled water, because you go to a tap, turn it, and we're one of the few countries in the world which actually delivers pure, perfect water, free at the point of contact. In a sense, that was ridiculous. But also, there's a bigger issue here, because we've heard high-flouting decentralization of responsibility, pushing things out to people, to communities. But actually what's been happening is completely the opposite. It's government determining how people's lives are lived. If you let it out to the community, do you have a bit of a fear that the government is just trying to take over every aspect of our lives?
I don't have a fear they're trying to take over every aspect of our lives, no. But I do agree that when you look at the solutions that have been provided in Middlesbrough that have worked have come from our public health teams locally, and they've come from the local council, and they've come from local people and organisations, charities and food banks and others. The people on the ground in this town know best what this town needs. Whitehall and central government can't dictate to local councils. And there's been a lot of lip service from the government paid about how they want to decentralise this process to local councils. And I think they've done some of that, but they haven't really done enough. Far too often, the council have found out what's going to happen in our town to people here in terms of lockdowns and the economy and public health. They've found out when they've watched it on the news. Head teachers found out that their schools will be reopening at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night at a press conference, and then had to email all the parents. They then found out the day after at a press conference that the schools were going to close again, and the key workers list would be widened. All of these things happened ad hoc, and they happened without any prior notice. And our council and our schools and all the organisations affected have had to pick it up like that. And they've done absolutely amazing work managing to pull all the things they need to pull together with absolutely no notice whatsoever. So I don't think they're trying to take over our lives, and I'm pleased that they're not, frankly, because if our lives were left in the hands of Gavin Williamson and Priti Patel and God knows who else, I think we can do better locally. Frankly, I think we really can. So leave it to local areas to understand their communities and what we need, because I think we do know best locally.
I'd agree. I'm not allowed to enter into politics, so I agree.
You got close there, Martin. You were on the edge of the old politics there. People don't. I don't know what's going to be.
I was hoping Anne would rescue me, but she was too busy playing with a cat. Our viewers on Facebook will be able to see Ivan the cat walking backward and forward across the screen now. So,
and can I?
What did me and you, Matt?
And can I just say, he's not impressed either, because he's making a bit of a noise. So I might be leaving both of you in a minute before he bites me to tell me, come on, get me outside. So, but Matt, as always, an absolute pleasure. Let me just go big. As always, an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem, anytime.
And now you've just got to go and finish off your homework.
Yeah, I've always got a lot of homework actually. So yeah, I better crack on with that.
Oh well, you take care, my love.
Okay,
I will see you soon. Bye bye. Oh, what a brilliant guest! I love him every time he comes on. Now, Ellie Lowther is watching this. Good evening to our wonderful Ellie Lowther. She has a show on a Sunday morning from 9 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock. Absolutely brilliant 3 hours. So if you haven't tuned in to her show on a Sunday morning, I would highly recommend it, everybody. And Ellie did say that lots of local people have got involved independently and helping with food poverty. And I picked up on Susan Gill's feed this morning from the Homeless Cafe. And, people from all ages have been involved in helping, haven't they, Martin?
They have. I have to tell you, I'm probably about to lose the contact again and disappear off screen again.
All right.
But yeah, didn't I hear somebody about some young lad we're aware of and chocolate?
Yeah, well, whilst you disappear and we've got Glenda on, I'll tell the listeners what this young lad actually went and did. Harrison, who's all of 8 years old, he's already donated a hamper before Christmas to the homeless cafe. And during Christmas, he got lots and lots of chocolate and sweets. So he doesn't eat them. And so he thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them to the homeless cafe. And Harrison dropped in a few carrier bags, which included Thornton chocolates, selection boxes, sweets, and box biscuits. So I think he's been out and spent his pocket money as well to help. And as Susan Gill said, thank you so much for helping the vulnerable in our community. And again, I know that Ellie, she goes and does things for the food bank. And I also know that she's actually done lots of different things for Susan Gill as well. So Ellie is one of our brilliant stalwarts in the community that is also helping vulnerable people as well. So sending you lots of love, Ellie. So laughter yoga, Glenda. Whilst we've lost Martin, do you know what it is? He's more than likely gone and got himself a cup of tea because he only works on tea and cake.
Well, I've just had a lovely caramel coffee delivered into the living room. So,
oh, did you by your wonderful husband?
No, my fabulous stepdaughter.
Oh well, can I just say we've now got Martin back. We wanted to finish the show on a real high, and a high for us is laughter yoga. We've had fabulous guests on. Yeah, we've had fabulous guests on the show this evening, haven't we, Martin?
Brilliant.
We've had
really good. We might have been swinging in and out of vision from time to time, but we're all back together now. And I'm wanting a good laugh.
I know. So we've got the wonderful Glenda is going to give us. Do we need to do any arm movements? Do I need to do any vacuuming?
Arm movements? No. Well, what I thought we could do was like everybody's in lockdown, but rather than lockdown, I thought we could do locked out laughter. So we can't get in. So we're just going to sort of feeling along. So you're just going to feel your way along, keep looking for an opening. And you're going to have to practice because you just go into fits at laughing at me rather than doing the actual laughter yoga exercises.
Well, can I just say, because I muted Martin, because you know that if we... Sorry, Martin, I had to mute you because you know that if more than one person speaks at the same time, it distorts all the sound. So we've got Ellie Lowther has actually popped a little question on for Glenda. So I'm going to pass this over to you, Glenda.
So do you also do regular yoga, and how do you feel laughter yoga aligns with tradition? So the only correlation that laughter yoga has with yoga is that every so often of your 3 exercises we then pop in a breathing exercise. So what we're doing is breathing out all the old stale oxygen, breathing in fresh new oxygen so that we can enrich our bodies. So I think yoga physically regenerates and strengthens the core, and whereas the laughter yoga tends to work mainly around the diaphragm and the giggly bits. But I think any sort of yoga has to be good. The good thing with laughter yoga, like yoga, is that you can have lots of different abilities doing it. We do it with children. We can do it with fit adults in working environments and like conferences. But we can also do it with more experienced adults that have maybe got physical disabilities, physical inabilities. I can see the two of you jumping about after. So yeah, you can have it done at different levels with different participation levels, the same as yoga. But obviously with the laughter yoga, it is purely the breathing that relates it to yoga, if that helps, Ellie.
Do you get tied up in knots like you do with regular yoga?
Well, yes, you can, because some of the games you play, part of laughter yoga is like releasing your inner child. So I always say that growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And a lot of folks say, oh, but you stop playing these games when you get old. Well, that's a lot of blohoney. You stop playing games when you get old. No, you get old when you stop playing the games. No, Martin, you know me, I'm Scottish. I don't know any of those like dodgy words that you're not allowed to say on the radio. I'm a Scottish girl. All my language is clean. But yeah, so you get old before your time. It's because you stop playing the games. So yes, one of the games that we play is actually get yourself a knot tied and then get yourself untied without undoing. So you're climbing in and out of people and stuff. Not quite so good in COVID times, I get, but yeah, it's all good. And we will return to close contact laughter yoga. For the time being, we'll do it remotely. But when the weather picks up, we're going to have outdoor laughter yoga. Green spaces. So maybe some of our counsellors can help us with access to some nice big green spaces to do some laughter yoga at distance.
Well, the thing is that once events happen again, I'm sure we can actually get you involved with some of the events as a laughter yoga for the crowd, because you did a great job when you went along to the community chaps. When we went to the town hall, we were cleaning, litter picking around the town hall, and you did a laughter yoga session, which people still talk about, Glenda.
I think some of them wondered what we were actually putting them in for. Some of them were totally up for it, and that's after yoga. You have to just give yourself 100%, because if you've got any reservations, you'll hold back and you won't do it, therefore not enjoying it, therefore not getting the benefits of it. So I said, you know what? If you're there, it's 10 minutes of your life, do it, get the benefits and come back for more.
And Glenda, before we go, can you give us another laughter yoga exercise to finish this evening's show that Martin and I can also do hand movements at the same time? Because I'm now muting Martin, because we like a bit of hand movements, if you've obviously noticed, because we're daft, us two are.
Well, what I can give you is, because I'm in isolation, I can't go shopping. So what I've done is I've done an online shop, because my husband is looking forward to going and doing the actual shop, but I'm not. So he's like, but yeah, we'll still need fruit and veg, and we'll still need this and that and stuff. So I'm going to do some laughter yoga with my receipt after he goes shopping. Okay, so he's gone out, he's gone shopping for like a couple of oranges and an apple or something, and he's got a receipt this long. There you go. All controlled.
Well, as always, you know that I'm useless at this laughter yoga, because I usually start just laughing at you, Glenda, which you know that, don't you?
Absolutely, and it works. But you need to get the belly laughter going in order to have
belly
the
laughter going. My tummy hurts.
That's good. That's good.
Your husband. Your husband is watching this, by the way, and he did say, "I will." Shopping. And you won't be laughing afterwards.
No, well, I will be, because if I don't laugh, I'll be crying.
Well, I think that's it. I think we need to say goodbye to everybody. Thanks to everybody who has watched the show this evening on Facebook, and also as well as that's listened to it on CVFM radio on 104.5. The other thing as well is this show is also being streamed on YouTube, so you can always go and watch the show again on Facebook Live if you want to, or on YouTube now as well. So so do tune in to us. Now next week, whilst we've got lockdown, we're only doing a 60-minute show. Obviously this has gone on a little bit longer. This is 90 minutes that we've got on to, as we do. So we are actually just going to be doing a 6 till 7 show most weeks, and then from 7 till 8 it'll just be music going through the airways. So because I'm sure people have realized that we don't play tunes, because if we play a song, Facebook tends to kick us out, doesn't it, Martin?
It does, and it's got nothing to do with the sound of my voice, which is quite amazing, because I've been banned from every station going for singing. But what I would say, Anne, we might have run over, but never mind the quantity, feel the quality.
Oh yes, definitely the quality. The quality is it. And Glenda, obviously you're stuck at home this week, can't go out. What kind of things? Well, we'll find out next week how you've coped. But is there anything in particular that you're going to be doing?
Well, I've got a new tablet lately because my little iPad wasn't big enough to do what I needed it to do. And I found a drawing app. I've always been one for colouring in and stuff, but this is more like an arty app. So I'm learning to layer at the minute.
Nice, nice. Well, I actually on Monday start 2 courses at Teesside University, their winter school. They are doing, they're doing evening classics. So Monday evening, I'm starting an 8-week course on graphic design, and then on a Wednesday, I'm starting an 8-week course on marketing, online marketing, because I want to basically get a few more skills on that. And I'm just finishing a Google course, so that'll be finished by tomorrow morning, which is good news. I'm ready for the next courses next week. So if you want to go and do something in the next 8 weeks that you're thinking, actually, I wouldn't mind doing something a little bit different, get yourself onto Teesside University's website, because they have some absolutely fabulous courses. They've also got a history course as well, Martin. And they've also got a copywriting, writing stories course. And it was I really fancied doing that. That's on a Tuesday night. And the only reason I'm not doing it is because I thought I'm going to overdo it again. That's why I just did the 2 courses. So everybody get yourself onto Teesside University, because the courses are absolutely brilliant. They seriously are. I did cybersecurity as well in the summer, and I also did programming. Don't do them 2 together, everybody, unless you're a techie person, else you will lose the will to live. So, Martin, what are you up to during? What are you up during next week?
There's some fantastic courses, demonstrations, etc. out there on the internet. But I think my main worry at the moment is tomorrow morning, Joe Wick's fancy dress again. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do in terms of fancy dress, if at all. I don't think I can think about it. But yeah, I'll be out there walking still. I'm going to do some baking tomorrow, definitely. I've got to get back to baking. So, we've got an opportunity here, folks. Go out for a walk. You can go online and watch some courses, do some courses. Use the time. Because the one thing that we will never, ever, any of us recover is time.
Yes.
Make the most of it.
And also as well as that.
Yes.
Have you ever made shortbread?
Sorry, what was that?
Have you ever made shortbread?
Yeah, loads of times. My shortbread.
I have never been allowed to participate in the eating of this.
Next week, I will bring you my shortbread Christmas biscuits, which have stained glass windows in them.
There's no calories in them, right?
No, there's no calories in any cake or biscuit. Have you ever seen a cake? Look, when I put in the flour and I put in the sugar and I've never put a calorie anywhere near it.
Brilliant news.
Talking of calories, can I just say we've had a love this evening from Sam Hussein and of the Heart Foundation. So they are selling these beautiful little heart-shaped sweets, and the money raised goes towards helping. What does it go towards helping, Marty?
It goes to the South Cleveland Heart Unit Fund, which provides all sorts of things there, not just equipment and things like that, but actually incidental that people who've got family and patients and help them out as well. So it's a great fund, and Sam did a fantastic job, wonderful job.
So huge hello to Sam, and also as well is we have invited you on the show, so do please come on, Sam, and also as well is do go and take a check out of their Facebook page and also the website as well, because you can fundraise for them, and the heart will be perfect for anybody you love, and also as well as for Valentine's, which will be coming up pretty soon. We've also got a little heart from Gavin Brown, who's my friend up in the Scottish borders. So big heart being sent to you, Gav, as well. So huge thank you to everybody who's actually like the show this evening, and do tune in next week at 6 o'clock, where you'll see us all next week. So what do we say? I think bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.